Mac, Bev Bevan from ELO, Elton John, Rod Stewart and Wings. And to kick the show off, we're taking you right across to Los Angeles, Hollywood, to the home of Stevie Nicks, where we interviewed her just prior to Fleetwood Mac coming to Australia. So over to Stevie Nicks. Now, what motivated you to join Fleetwood Mac?
Mick asked us.
Yeah.
And the motivation stemmed out of a need to work and we liked him very much. And we felt that if the relationship could continue to be as good as it was when we first met, that it would have to be a good band. And so we left the decision on whether or not we would join the band until we went out to dinner with them. And there was never a question. Nobody ever said, do you want to join our band? It was just like we had dinner, and when we left, everybody just sort of hugged each other and said, well, rehearsal is next week at 7 o'clock. And it was done. There wasn't ever any audition or rehearsal, to see if we were right for the band.
Were you a great fan of Fleetwood Mac before you joined the band?
I didn't know very much about Fleetwood Mac.
No?
No. I immediately went out and got all the albums and played them back to front. And
were you surprised?
Well, I wasn't surprised. I just wanted to find out if I could find any running theme that went through from the beginning with all the different people that were in the band to up where we were at that point.
Did you find that?
Yeah.
What other things behind the scenes motivates Stevie Nicks, and what are your likes and dislikes?
I like this house a lot.
Yeah, it's a beautiful house.
It belonged to an old silent film movie star who's up there, Lucia. And I like antiques. I like old things. I must be very old underneath because I love beautiful old things. I love dancing. I love most of all writing songs.
Obviously you like animals. What's your little dog's name?
I love animals. Ginny.
Yeah?
Jennifer.
And how long have you had her for?
8 years.
Yeah?
I got her way before I had any money. I didn't have near enough money to buy her for $100 at 2 weeks old or 3 weeks old, I don't know what she was. She's one of the things that I have had to give up for Fleetwood Mac because you're not home, so you can't take care of your little charges.
Well, becoming one of the biggest names in the rock scene today, both the group and yourself, are you happy?
Sometimes. I'm tired of being on the road.
Yeah.
I'm tired, period. I'm very tired.
Well, I think it comes to more than that now, but there's a band that has a very, very definite image, and one of them being you.
And so from whence I was a very little girl, I was dancing around the house. So this is nothing new for me. This is nothing different. People can interpret what I do any way they want to, just the way they can interpret a song any way they want to. It is not important to me. I happen to like black. I always liked black. I happen to like very flowy clothes, but I always liked those kind of clothes. I'm small. I'm not, your stately, sexy type of a person. I'm 5'1" tall, and if I don't wear the kind of stuff I wear on stage, from a distance you'd never see me. Yeah. I'd blend into the drums, I wouldn't even come tall enough to be very noticed. If I just wore jeans and a shirt or something, you would never see me up there.
Well, apart from some really excellent songs both from the Fleetwood Mac album and from the Rumours album, Rhiannon was a film clip that was shown over and over again in Australia. But I remember on the first time that we showed that on our show, which was the first time in Australia, the reaction to that film clip was just astonishing. And the name Stevie Nicks sort of became a household name overnight.
Was that the film? Was that the whole film?
It was from that live
there were
concert
some interviews
thing.
and
yeah, but we showed the individual film.
That wasn't. There was nobody in that audience. There was no audience for Rhiannon.
Right.
That was done in a huge rehearsal hall.
But the audience, once they saw it on television, it became a...
All I'm trying to say is that the song is indeed so special that even without an audience, it knocks me out to such a point that even when there's nobody out there watching, even when we're just rehearsing it, which we don't do very often, but when we do run through it, it's always real magic. It's
Now,
such an easy hairdo.
Getting back onto the music side, and especially Rumours has gone back to #1 on the albums chart in Australia.
Yeah.
And there are 3 major albums of this year. One has been yours, the other has been ELO, and the other has been Boss Gags. What do you personally think of the Rumours album? I mean, there's some great songs on it. There's been some great singles off it.
I think it's a very good album.
Yeah?
I think that it has a lot of class. It took a lot of time, and there was a lot of emotional input into it, and we didn't spare any time or money to do exactly what we wanted to do with it. And the fact that there are 3 writers lends to the group a variety, so that you're not sitting and listening to one excellent lead singer all the way through the album, who, I don't care how good you are, if you're singing all the way through an album lead, it's going to tend to get a little, to me, I'm going to be bored. So the fact that Chrissy and Lindsay and I all sing makes it, it's a whole little show, even on record.
Now, it's unusual to have females in groups of a rock standing, like we've got the ABBAs and things like that, but in a rock group such as Fleetwood Mac, with such intensity towards rock, it is quite unusual to have female singers like yourself and Chrissy in the group. With the structure of the songs, and when you go into recording,
we just play around.
What can we look forward to on the concert then? Fleetwood Mac in concert. What material do you do? From where?
We do just about everything off of both albums.
Right.
And we do a couple of old Fleetwood Mac songs. So we do almost 2 hours.
Now, if I may be personal, what other things you've told us about musical comedy and your musical taste? Yeah.
I thought so. A definite. At that point, I didn't really even know what it was, but it didn't seem to matter who was in the band. There was something that was very similar, which has to now, because I know it very well, comes down pretty much to Mick and John, the way they play.
Now, I don't know where this stemmed from, but there was a rumour around New York last week that there is a possibility you may go into films. Have you given that thought, or is it true? Or?
I haven't given it any thought. It's
No.
nothing that I ever wanted to do. I always thought that it was too much work.
Yeah.
I mean, to have to get up at 5 in the morning and go... it's truly something that I never thought about. I always wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a songwriter, but I never thought about being an actress. So I don't know how to do that. So I don't know.
Australia.
Okay.
And I know you're going to blow them out down there. I mean, it's going to be an enormous, probably the biggest concert for this year.
I hope so.
And well, I know that.
And it'll clear out my voice, your wonderful weather. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Well, welcome down to Australia in a couple of weeks' time. Thanks
Thank
very much
you
for your time.
very much.
And thanks very much for those beautiful albums.
Oh, anytime.
Thanks, Stevie.